What's up guys, it's Colin here with Up North Outdoors, and I'm going to be living out of this Sherp for a while in Alaska, but there's a lot of work to do to it first. So this video is pretty much going to be a introduction video of this Alaskan adventure I'm going on with this exact Sherp right here. I'm kind of going to do a breakdown of what I'm doing on this trip and what I'm doing to this Sherp to get prepared for this trip. Pretty much what we're doing is I'm going to be going on a 14-day moose hunting trip in Alaska, living out of this Sherp in the bush. And I have about 1 month to get this Sherp completely ready to send up on the barge to Anchorage, and I haven't started on it yet. So yeah, pretty much this is gonna be a trip of a lifetime for me. This is gonna be the biggest adventure that I have ever gone on. I have never been to Alaska. I have never even slept in a Sherp. I'm really just cannonballing right into this Alaskan adventure thing. I'm blessed and lucky enough that we're gonna be hunting with a friend of mine that does have a lot of experience up there in Alaska. So we're gonna be very safe. But yeah, this is all brand new territory for me, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous. Pretty much I'm going to be 100% relying on this vehicle to get me out to where I need to go to hunt, to sustain me while I'm out there, to give me a warm and safe shelter to sleep from grizzly bears and other predators, and also keep me warm and out of the elements. I'm also going to be relying on this machine to keep all of my gear safe and to charge all of my camera equipment, because I'm going to be filming this whole thing. So I have a lot of I need to learn. I need to learn a lot about the maintenance of these machines. As many of you guys know, I've been selling these machines since 2017, but we have mechanics, Sherp mechanics that work for us. I am not one of them. I break the machines, and then I beat on them, and then I give them to my mechanics and let them fix them. So that is something that needs to change. I am going to be going through this Sherp front to back. Pretty much I have 1 month. I have 1 month until the Sherp needs to ship up the barge to Washington. So I need to go through this Sherp front to back, and I have a whole laundry list of things that I need to check to make sure this thing is bulletproof and ready for this trip. I am going to have some of my mechanics overseeing me, double checking to make sure everything I'm doing is right. I also have a laundry list of tools to bring, spare parts, and then I have a bunch of accessories I want to add on to this machine that I quite frankly need for this trip. Before I get too deep into explaining everything I want to do to this Sherp to prepare for the trip, let me tell you a little bit about the Sherp itself. This is a 2019 Sherp Pro model. If you're not super familiar with Sherp, this is the original Sherp model, the smaller model, not the big Sherp ends like we sell now. This Sherp was made from 2017 to 2019. So this is the last year, the last iteration of the Sherp Pro, arguably the best year. It's the last year of the model, so they had updated a lot of things. It's just the most updated Sherp Pro that you can get. It's a 2019. The Sherp Pros compared to the ends, you can go on our website, sherpusa.com. I know we have a lot of other resources out there if you're really interested, or you can send me an email. But just briefly, these machines are small, a little bit smaller, weigh 2,000 pounds less. They weigh about 3,500 pounds, but they have exposed chains. They have a little bit more maintenance you need to do to them compared to the Sherp ends. But these are the original, no computer, rugged Siberia conquering Sherps that everyone that blew up and set all the world records. These are true exploratory vessels, and it's not a joke when people say these are hands down the most capable off-road vehicle on the planet. So that's the Sherp I'm going to be taking. This specific one it's 2019. This is a used machine, obviously, but very lightly used. It has 72 hours on the clock. This is a machine actually that we got in on trade from a client that ended up getting an N just a couple months ago. So this is a machine I'm going to be taking up to this hunting trip to Alaska is not going to be cheap. So to try to you know, hopefully make a little bit of money, but at least break even on this trip. After my hunt up there, this Sherp is going to stay in Alaska and it's going to be up for sale. So if you guys like this build once we're done with it and you're in Alaska and you're interested, let me know and we can definitely get you hooked up for a ride in it this September after my hunt. Kind of cool thing about this Sherp is this is one that we actually sold new back in 2019. So this is our second time with this Sherp, but we installed a few accessories on it for the client, but he didn't go too crazy, so I definitely have a lot of stuff to add. What it does have on it already is it has a front rigid light bar, which is nice. We have the rear side windows, which are gonna be really nice. They're screened like camper windows, so we'll be able to get some airflow, because that's where me and my buddy Brian are gonna be sleeping, is in the back there. So that screen window will definitely be helpful. It does have the front step. This was the original Sherp front step. I'm not a big fan of this one. This original one that came out with the Pros is a pretty heavy stainless steel step. It's a lot of weight, it's really bulky, and can sometimes kind of hit the passenger's knees if this gets loose. So I'm actually probably gonna be taking this off and replacing this with the new lightweight step that we have. Just not a huge fan of it. Also have tinted windows, which is going to be pretty nice. So moving to the back here, we do have our custom rear step installed in this, which is going to be super nice to have. It drops the tailgate down to this position here instead of the factory height, which just sits right here, which makes it really difficult to climb in out of the back. It is nice if you wanted to have like a table, but if we're going to be climbing in and out, getting all of our gear in here, and climbing in and out here to sleep in here a lot, so having this drop down easy in and out step is going to be really nice to have. Inside the back here, it has bench seats mounted in the back. They're fold-up bench seats for passengers. These are another accessory that is going to have to go for me. I need as much storage space as I can have, because I'm going to be storing all the gear for two of us for 2 weeks worth of in here to survive from. So I really need these benches to go. I'm going to be taking these out and putting in the Sherp storage boxes they take up about the same space as these two benches, strapped to the wall, except for they're enclosed, and I can fill them full of stuff, and you can still sit on them if you want to. But there really only is going to be two of us, and we'll both be riding in the front, driving in this Sherp. That's pretty much all this machine has for accessories right now. So there is a pretty big list of things that I'm wanting to add. As I come out with more videos on this build series, I'm going to be having some dedicated videos to actually installing the accessories on this Sherp, going back to kind of some OG Up North Outdoors, you know, doing some build videos. But just kind of I came up with kind of a quick list of things that I know I'm going to want to install, and I'm sure this list is going to grow as the month goes on of building this. But some things that I for sure need to add to this machine is I really want to add some kind of rear lights, just so it gets dark in Alaska, you know, pretty early. Even in September, it's going to start getting pretty dark, so it's definitely going to be nice to be able to traverse at night and see behind me. Cargo net, I want to add a cargo net on the ceiling in the back, just another spot that I can put gear up in that net. I want to figure out some system for the back to be able to strap down gear, you know, whether it's some extra tie down points, because I want everything to be secure, because we are going to be pushing the limits on this trip with some pretty severe angles in the mountains. I do not need, you know, guns and things flying around. I do need to add a Garmin GPS. I'm probably going to add a tread. We normally add the tread XLs to my big Sherps, but you're limited with the front cab space here, so probably a smaller GPS that's kind of I can have in my line of vision. It's going to be really important for me to have. Front and rear receivers. I need to add a front receiver and a rear receiver. The reason I'm wanting to do that is I'm going to add a winch on a receiver plate and then run wiring to the front and the back. So while I'm just normal driving, I'm going to probably keep the winch in storage. And then if we get to a point where we need it, whether we're doing, you know, tight terrains or having to help each other out, I can put it in the front or the rear receiver and just plug it in whichever I need it. The rear storage boxes, I already mentioned. Coming up with some kind of sleeping pad system. We're gonna be sleeping up on the shelves, but trying to see if I can come up with something just to be a little bit more comfortable, since we're gonna be sleeping out of this thing for 2 weeks. Big thing is I need to come up with a battery bank system and solar power, because I am gonna be filming this whole trip, and you know, I am gonna try to bring a pile of batteries, but for 14 days filming, I'm gonna need to be able to charge my equipment, be able to charge my phone, things like that. So I'm gonna need to come up with some kind of big battery bank that I can run off the Sherp when I'm driving, and then of course be able to set up some solar panels, whether that's mounting permanent panels on the roof or having portable panels I can set up outside. That's something that I need to come up with here this month. Potentially doing a roof rack. We'll see where I'm at with gear. I'm going to be getting my gear together here soon and kind of see how it fits in the Sherp. I might want to do a roof rack to be able to fit gear on there, or fit some, you know, moose meat up there if we are blessed enough to get an animal. But I don't want to go too crazy with roof gear either, because that's going to heighten your center of gravity, make the machine more tippy, and again, we're going to be driving in an area with some pretty extreme angles, so I want to pile too much stuff on the roof. These vehicles, they can look kind of tippy, but the center of gravity is about actually the halfway up the wheel. The engine, drivetrain, transmission, everything it's in the floor, and the rest of the machine is aircraft grade aluminum besides the roll bars, so they are not tippy at all. They're very difficult to tip one of these things, but you sort of add weight to the roof, that makes your center of gravity a lot higher. And then lastly, I'm going to be wrapping this thing. I want to wrap it and make it kind of unique, you know, Sherp USA. I don't know for sure what color I'm going to go with. I was kind of leaning towards, you know, either black or a tan. I think like original Sherp tan would be cool, or, you know, doing a camo pattern. If I could reach out to some camo companies and see if they'd be okay with me using one of their patterns, could be cool as well. That's kind of what I've got for a preliminary accessory list. Like I said, some of these things are probably going to change once I got it in the shop, and I'm, you know, talking with guys about exactly how I want this machine set up. I'm also probably going to do a test run here once I get it done, probably hopefully a couple weeks before I ship it out, so I can, you know, see exactly where I want it. Ideally, I'd like to ship it in probably 1 to 2 months. I want a for sure hard deadline. I need to ship this Sherp by the end of July, just to give it a month to get there. But ideally, I'd like to ship it before then, just to make sure my Sherp makes it to Alaska before my hunting trip starts. I know some of you guys are probably getting bored of this video, but this is kind of an introduction video of this adventure, and I'm really just wanting to film everything, and I'm kind of listing everything out to you guys as well. So maybe if any of you guys have any input, you can sure leave comment below. I read all the comments, so if you guys have some ideas, have at it, let me know. Real quick, I'll just go through the things that mechanically I'm going to go through, and I'll go more in detail with this stuff when I actually do the videos, but I'm going to do full fluid changes on everything, air filter change. I'm going to check the chain tensions, and I think my guys have already pretty much gone through this Sherp, so I'm kind of going to be more double checking everything and just learning how to do the things myself that I don't already know how to do, just so if I have to make any adjustments in the field or repairs, I can be confident that I can do that myself, or if I have to help other guys out there. I just want to be competent with the mechanics of this machine. Brake pads, I'm going to check the batteries. I'm probably going to swap the main battery because it's getting kind of old. Want to check the bearings. I need to do some stick adjustments for the steering. I want to check all my seals because we are going to be doing some water crossings. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to get any water in the machine. Make sure the drain plugs are in the bottom of the Sherp. Make sure I got the right heating cooling fan in it. Make sure the heaters are working, the main heater and the Webasto diesel heater. Make sure all my accessories and lights and electronics are working good. And then tools. I'm not going to bore you guys with the tool list. You know, maybe I'll do a separate video on that when I'm packing the spare parts and the tools, but I do have a big spare parts list and a tool list as well that I've been working on and building. That's another big thing that's going to take up a lot of room in this Sherp is tools. I want to have enough tools to repair everything in the field, because we are going to have a couple of Sherps out there, but this area we're going in with the terrain and stuff, it would be very, very difficult to tow a Sherp out with another Sherp, and it'd be much easier to be able to fix the Sherp out there instead. Obviously, this is a massive trip. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. One thing I'm sure you guys are gonna be wondering is why I'm not just driving up, hauling a Sherp up there myself, going on the adventure on the highway and, you know, hunting and then just hauling it back. Main reason is time. I have a wife, and then I have a beautiful daughter at home. You know, she's 15 or 16 months old now, so she's, you know, just not even a year and a half. So I don't want to be gone for a month. I've gotten pretty soft, you know, been blessed and not been having to work on the road since she's been born. So 2 weeks is already gonna be really, really tough for me. I'm gonna miss my family a ton, and I think a month would just be too much. It would definitely be too much. So because it'd be about a week drive up there and about a week drive back. So gonna be shipping this thing to Washington, sending it up the barge to Anchorage, and then I'm gonna be flying into Anchorage, and going from there. I know I haven't been super consistent with YouTube the last 3-4 years, especially the last year or two, but I'm a husband now, I'm a father now, and I have a lot of responsibilities at home and at work. So I just, YouTube does, YouTube unfortunately sometimes ends up at the bottom of that, that chain of important things. But this adventure, this is locked in. I am doing this, I'm going to this, and I am filming this. So I am not only filming this for you guys to be able to, enjoy this, going on this adventure through my eyes. 'Cause I don't know about you guys, but I love watching, especially like Alaskan adventure videos. There's something about it, being able to just live through those people's eyes when they go on these adventures is just amazing, and a big reason that I'm going on this trip now. So I'm going to obviously provide that for you guys, but I'm also, another reason I'm making this is just kind of to document this awesome adventure for myself, and for my kids to even be able to watch. That's a big reason I'm gonna be filming this too. I want to be able to look back and remember this, and that's so cool. We're so lucky that in today's day and age we have video cameras, video and pictures to be able to document these adventures. Super, super cool. So that's why I'm filming this. This is why you're seeing a video from Cullen Up North Outdoors on here, and you can expect fairly consistent videos here for the next until this adventure, at least, because I'm also kind of making these videos to hold myself accountable to get this thing done and get prepared and not procrastinate on this trip, because this is not a trip that I can procrastinate on. I need to be overly prepared for this, because this is gonna be the real deal. This is not just a weekend fishing trip with the boys, or going out sitting in the deer stand on the weekends, walking out on the back 40. This is the real deal, and I need to be prepared for it. So, but yeah, just kind of wanted to do an introduction video, explain what I'm doing, kind of give a walkthrough in the Sherp and what I'm gonna be doing with this one. If you guys have any suggestions below, I kind of, maybe on that accessory list, or I haven't even gone through my packing list for the hunt or any of that stuff. Maybe I'll make a video on that too. But yeah, if I have any viewers out there from Alaska that do this type of stuff, I have the people I'm going with are very experienced. So I'm not just going into this trip blind. I'm not just YOLO, so I'm not just sending it up there with no experience. That would be very irresponsible, just taking a Sherp out in the Alaska bush and trying to live out of it when I have no experience out there at all. We are going to someone who is very experienced. That is huge. He's awesome for going hunting with a noob like me off there, but it's just, I'm going to be learning so much, and I'm just so excited and so blessed for this trip. All right, I can't let you guys go without the verse of the day. So this verse of the day is in Genesis 1. This is going to be Genesis 1:26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." And if you read all of Genesis 1, it's, God's talking about creating everything, and I think that pertains good to this adventure. He made it all for us. He made all this nature. He made Alaska. He made the moose I'm going to be hunting. He made it all for us to have dominion over, and that just crazy. We have that much of a loving God that He created this entire world for us. But yeah, anyways, guys, God bless. Jesus loves you, and I'll see you in the next video.